If you ever wondered why in 2019 Lucy Worsley, an historian, was allowed to go through the editorial process on a program regarding John Wilkes Booth using the N-word out loud, this should be our answer. Because when Tim Davie, the director of the BBC, decides to celebrate Black History Month by telling us all that journalists shouldn't be allowed, and in fact are not allowed, to wear Black Lives Matter T-shirts in the newsroom, he's giving you a message. And when I say you, I mean white people, because we, people of color, we know this, that the BBC structurally considers the fight against anti-Blackness as an opinion, not as something that the organization should be structurally against. It is something that its journalists, including its Black ones, who, by the way, are a minority when it comes to the editorial structures of the BBC, as shown in that program that I mentioned in the beginning, are not allowed to express in their workplace, unlike, for instance, a poppy for Remembrance Day. Because unlike the poppy, the BBC considers racism as a divisive topic. A topic with two sides. And if you, as a white person, thinks that this treatment is limited to the editorial staff of the BBC, let me show you this article. It's about the internet coverage in Sudan during a genocide and its connections to Elon Musk. And where is this article under? Global development. If you think that this callousness is limited to the United Kingdom, let me show you this cover from The Atlantic, in which it is posited that the genocide in the Congo is good for environmental reasons. And when you hear this, you start to understand the tone of the coverage of the genocide in Sudan and the genocide in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. The callousness behind it. And this editorial approach is the reason why Louise Goodall, when interviewing Priti Patel, instead of asking her when Robert Jenrick would be fired by using a bullhorn of racism in Birmingham, he asked her how she felt about being a part of the group defined by Jenrick as unintegrated. Because, once again, this fireable offence at every single job is treated in the merry-go-round of the Oxbridge graduated white editorial staff and journalists that jump between political parties and the media as an opinion. This doesn't limit itself to Black people. Look at how Muslims are treated in this country and how people who are openly Islamophobic are never confronted on their Islamophobia. Because if you don't consider anti-discrimination a pillar from which you work from, your job will never be to challenge it.